Well, in this episode, I'm going to show you how to mix cement in a wheelbarrow. If you're stuck in a pinch, you don't have a mixer to handle, it's busted, it's broken or something, and I'll show you exactly how to do it. Right, let's go. Things you're going to need: one wheelbarrow, a shovel, sand obviously, cement, and water with Feb in it. This is stuff you're going to want. Mortar, plasticizer. You only really need to use plasticizer if you're using this cement to lay bricks. If you just want to plug a hole or something like that, you don't necessarily need the Feb. But let's get on with it. What I do is I put you on my head with the GoPro and go step by step and show you how to do this. Right, for this mix, we're going to be working on a ratio of 5 to 1. So that's 5 parts sand to 1 part cement in the wheelbarrow. So what we're going to need to do, first off, you put 5 good shovelfuls of sand in the barrow. Once they're in there, you want one good shovelful of cement. A nice one. Well, that's not quite a shovel, so we'll have that. And then a little bit more. That's a shovel. Now, once you have all of the components in the wheelbarrow, you need to mix it together before you add any water. So you spend a couple of minutes just mixing it together so that the sand and cement form a nice cohesion together. I like to work from both sides of the wheelbarrow. One downside of doing this is be very careful of your knuckles, because where they're here, as you come down, it's easy to scrape your knuckles on the barrow and really do them in. So just be very careful you don't do that. Once that's mixed together nicely, you cut the mix in half, like so. Get rid of that. So now you're at this point, you've got a bucket of water with your Feb in it. Put half the bucket in there. And slowly bring these sides in. Work from the inside out and just slowly bring them in. As that's nice and wet in the middle, it's very easy to mix. Just give it taps like that. Push it from one side to the other and then tap and drag it back. Add a bit more. Just keep doing that till you get it mixed up nicely. When it starts getting a bit tough, you go underneath and then lift it and turn it over. When you're close, you just turn that in and then you start mixing it the same way you were mixing it before you added the water. So just like this. Just keep turning it over and over. That half a bucket of water should still be okay. Now that's close to the consistency you want. So obviously we have to add this in. So you just pull that to one side and add some more water. I'd add another quarter probably. But it does vary from sand to sand, so be careful. I only add little bits at a time. Pull the last bit in, like so. Just keep mixing it up like you were doing before you added the water. And there you go, that's done. Perfect. To make sure you've got the right consistency, if this is for brickwork, what I like to do is just test it with the trowel. A way that I like to test if it's a good consistency is you get a little bit on the trowel, flick it and turn it upside down. If it sticks, then for me that's a good base point for laying bricks. If it doesn't stick and it's fall off, it's either too wet or too dry. Like if you hold it on and it just falls off in one lump, it's too wet, too dry. But if it's just, like for example, like here, it just falls off, it's just too wet. That's a good baseline. Doesn't always work, but it's a good baseline. There you go. That's how you knock up cement in a wheelbarrow if your mixer doesn't work or you don't have a spot board. And there you go, you've got your cement ready to go and lay some bricks or fill a few holes. If you need to fill holes and not brickwork, you don't have to use Feb as much, if at all, and it might be sense to have it a little bit stiffer, but it all depends what job you're using it for. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like down below. If it helped you out in any way, please do let me know down in the comments. Also, if there's something you'd do differently, or if you can tell me a particular scenario where you've had to use this instead of a mixer, it'll be great to hear your stories. And subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll leave it there. Take care. This will be the end of a 4-part series of how to knock up muck, and hope you enjoyed. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later.